Good morning, apologies for the scenery. I am prepping this car for a big road trip and there's lots still to do. Anyway, I'll tell you what you don't do on a road trip. Get on a bus. And I'll tell you what you shouldn't be doing in London, getting on a bus, because London buses are more dangerous under Sadiq Khan. Transport experts claim. This is from the Telegraph. Obviously, Sadiq Khan, the Fuhrer of London, was elected again to be Mayor of London in a perfectly fair election where real people voted and all the votes were 100% legitimate, and it definitely wasn't a done deal from the start because Sadiq Khan is the chairman of C40 cities, and C40 cities are a key part of the New World Order. If you haven't watched my video on C40 cities, it is in the comments, and it links Sadiq Khan to Hillary Clinton, and she's a lovely person. Anyway, London buses are getting more dangerous. Public transport experts and campaigners have claimed. Collisions are higher on average than they were between 2014 and 2023 because new lower speed limits put pressure on drivers to go faster when they can in order to keep up with their schedule, critics have argued. So they go through the 20-mile-an-hour zones. That delays all the buses. Then they get to a bit where they can speed up and they all crash into each other. That's essentially what's going on. Official figures show that the distance covered by London buses has gone down since the pandemic, but the number of collisions have gone up, meaning buses are injuring more people per mile travelled than ever before. Brilliant. So if you're not going to get stabbed on the bus, because Sadiq Khan doesn't really care about people stabbing people, he only cares about getting these old cars off the road. If you're not going to get stabbed on the bus, then you might have a crash whilst on one, or if you're lucky, you might get crashed into by one. In the financial year from 2016 to 2017, London buses were operated over a distance of 492 million kilometres, according to Transport for London. Between 2022 and 2023, it was 457 million kilometres, a decrease of 7%. So we want you out of your cars, but there's going to be less buses to get you around. Are you starting to get the picture that they just don't want you to go anywhere? Critics of the London mayor, and there are a lot of them, put the higher collision rates down to the fact that the new 20-mile-an-hour speed limits make it harder for bus drivers to meet their schedule without driving fast on the roads when they can. A training document from 2016 given to bus drivers by Go Ahead, Transport for London's largest bus contractor, said, "We must try and keep this gap between buses as even and as close to what is scheduled as possible. If we fail, we can be fined up to 10% of the contract price." So they are doing the contracting to provide the buses. They have to keep the buses spaced at a certain distance, and Sadiq Khan manages the traffic via Transport for London to ensure that all the buses end up bunched up in one place because of 20-mile-an-hour zones, low emission zones and low traffic neighbourhoods. Pretty difficult for bus contractors, isn't it? Neil Garrett, leader of the City Hall Conservatives, said that the lower speed limits on busier roads mean that bus drivers feel pressure to go faster on other roads to keep up with the timetable, which he said has not been factored into the new speed limits introduced under Mr Khan. We know this because we've seen in Wales, bus routes have been cancelled because it's not doable with the 20-mile-an-hour speed limits. Despite his many promises and strategy documents, the stark fact is that London's buses are getting more dangerous under Fuhrer Khan. It says mayor, but I've substituted the word there. Has anything got better under Sadiq Khan other than stabbings? Stabbings have got way better. Has anything in London actually got better? Diversity, fireworks for Ramadan, all of that sort of stuff. All of that has got better, but that doesn't actually impact real people's real lives. Has anything got better in London that has actually impacted real people's real lives under the reign of the Fuhrer Khan? I'm guessing no, but let me know in the comments. The findings cast doubt over Mr Khan's Vision Zero programme, launched in 2018, which looked to eliminate deaths caused by buses by 2030. Michael Liebreich, who oversaw health and safety while sitting on Transport for London's board between 2012 and 2018, said it's becoming more and more difficult to meet the schedule, so the pressure on drivers is only increasing. He also said that London was the lowest quartile of cities ranked by vehicle collisions in a 2021 study done by the International Bus Benchmarking Group. I bet they're fun at a dinner party. Now working as a transport executive, Mr Liebreich said people should be scared. We have a really unsafe system in London. There are hundreds of victims here. Oh, he didn't mince his words there, did he? Since 2016, 61 people have been killed in bus collisions, Transport for London data shows. How many have been stabbed on buses? because there was definitely one schoolgirl, and I'm pretty confident it wasn't in the news, but the reason she was on the bus was because of ULEZ. The parents didn't want to drive their car into the ULEZ zone, so they put the kid on the bus, and the kid was murdered on the bus. Thank you, Sadiq Khan. Some bus drivers on particular routes are also alleged to be speeding, yet Transport for London admitted it does not routinely share this information with the police. Questions to the mayor shows. What? So that means the buses are speeding, but no one's getting prosecuted because TfL think it's okay because it's one of their buses. Is that what that means? You tell me in the comments. In January 2020, Unite, union, I presume, said bus drivers were also suffering from chronic fatigue after a survey found 36% of drivers had had a close call because of tiredness in the past 12 months. A spokesman for the Fuhrer of London said the mayor is committed to ensuring London's transport network and roads are as safe as possible. Since introducing his goal to eliminate road deaths in London, both deaths and serious injuries in London have fallen faster than the national average. Buses are already the safest way to travel on London's roads. I don't think that they are the safest way to travel on London's roads. I think the safest way to travel on London's roads is in an armoured personnel carrier. Or maybe that bulldozer that Whistling Diesel's building. They carry more people than any other public transport mode. Despite the government trying to force major bus cuts in London, the Fuhrer has managed to protect the vast majority of bus routes and is now expanding bus services, particularly in outer London. This includes the new Superloop bus network. In September, Transport for London announced a new strategy to make buses even safer. This includes continuing to roll out the world-leading bus safety standard, which specifies the safety standards for new buses in London. More than 1,400 buses now meet the standard, and this number will increase as older vehicles are replaced with new electric buses, which we bought from China. The mayor has pledged to make all the capital's buses zero emission by 2030. Transport for London and Go Ahead declined to comment. A zero emissions bus is not a zero emissions bus when it burns, which they do tend to do. Lots to digest in that one. I don't really like going to London ever. I think if I was going to go to London, I probably would want to drive through it in Whistling Diesel's bulldozer, and maybe we could get some sort of political change if we went to London in that vehicle. What do you think? I mean, I don't live in London, but I do keep an eye on what's going on because of all the ULEZ. I can't see anything that has actually improved underneath the Fuhrer Khan. I do think the election was a bit of a joke, and I do think Sadiq Khan is... I think the thing that annoys me most about Sadiq Khan is you watch him in interviews and you watch his interactions with people, and he's just an absolutely hideous, ratty, devious, deceptive little cretin of a human being. And I think that's probably the worst bit about all of it. So there we go. London has fallen. The buses are either going too slow or they're going too fast, and they're crashing into people and killing people and crashing into other cars. Thank you very much for watching this very unscenic Tuesday morning video.